Hello to my Flamazing Franklin Academy artists and welcome to Art with Miss P. Today's lesson is going to be our flower garden with some bumblebees. So I'm going to show you how to draw a couple of different flowers with some bumblebees. So this is what you need for this lesson. Get your white paper, your pencil, and if your pencil doesn't have an eraser, grab an eraser, and then whatever you want to use to color your flower garden with. I just bought a brand new box of 96 crayons that I am just so excited to use. So I am going to be finishing this off today with crayons, but you use whatever you want to color your flower garden with. So grab those materials, friends, and meet me over in my studio and we'll get started on our flower garden with bumblebees. Hello friends, and welcome to Art with Miss P. So today's lesson is going to be a flower garden with a couple of bumblebees, or ever how many bumblebees you want to put in your garden. So here's what you need for this project. Make sure you have your white paper to draw on, pencil, an eraser, and if your pencil has an eraser, that's great, and whatever you want to color with. I am going to use this brand new box of 96 crayons that I am so excited to use today because I have so many awesome colors in here. So let's get your paper, your white drawing paper, and let's get started. So you've got your white drawing paper and we want to turn it horizontal. That means going this way. We want to draw our picture going across. So turn your paper horizontal, and the very first thing we're going to draw is what's called a horizon line. And a horizon line is a horizontal line that goes all the way across your paper. The horizon line is right here in your drawing, and it's a line that is made by where the sky and the ground look like they meet. So we're going to come down to the bottom of our paper right here where my finger is, and we're going to draw a horizon line going all the way across our paper. It does not have to be perfectly straight, so if it has a little bit of a bump in it, that is okay. All right, so we're going to draw our first flower, and it's going to be a tulip, and we're going to draw it right up here in this corner of our paper. So I want you to draw a big semicircle, or it looks like the letter U. Then we're going to connect these 2 points with a zigzag line. A zigzag line kind of looks like the letter Z. So draw a zigzag line right there. And then 2 parallel vertical lines, just like you learned to do in your sunflower lesson, all the way from the bottom of your flower to your horizon line. Don't go past your horizon line. Stop right there. Then we're going to draw a circle right here. That's going to be the center of our next flower. And then we're going to draw a half circle just like that. And I'm going to turn my paper and I'm going to draw another half circle. Turn my paper and draw another one. And I'm going to keep turning my paper and drawing a half circle until I have gone all the way around my circle just like that. Now I have a flower with some rounded flower petals. Now we need a stem and 2 straight lines going all the way down, 2 parallel vertical lines all the way down to your horizon line just like that. All right, now we're going to draw another tulip, but we're going to make this tulip about right here because we got a tall one here and a shorter flower here. So let's make this tulip right there. So draw your half circle or your letter U. Put your zigzag line right there. And then 2 parallel lines. I'm going to make this one a little bit curvy. Not too much though, just a little bit. And then now we got a big space right here. So we're going to draw a big circle right here, and this is going to be for our next flower. And I'm going to let you choose. You can do another flower just like this, just bigger. Or if you want to make your petals more triangular shape like that right there, like you did for your sunflower, you can. I'm gonna let you choose what kind of petal you wanna put on this one. I am gonna go ahead and put rounded petals, but like I said, you can do a flower like this right here if you want to. Just remember, it's like making triangles, like it was in your last lesson with your sunflower. Now I am turning my paper to make my petals radiate out from the center of my flower. And I'm gonna make this flower stem just a little bit curvy. Not too much, just a little bit. But if you don't wanna make them curvy and you wanna make them straight like they are in this example, you can do that too. Again, your choice. So now we've got our 4 flowers. So now we're gonna put some leaves on our flowers. So I'm gonna put a leaf right there. I'm gonna come around here and put a leaf right there. And I'm gonna put a leaf down here at the bottom. And then on my tulip, I think I'm gonna put 2 leaves coming out of the bottom, because tulips, if you see them in nature, they look like they have 2 leaves that grow out of the bottom of the stem. And then over here, I'm gonna put a leaf here, one here, one here, and one here, kind of a bunch of leaves going down my stem there. And then I'm gonna make a tulip leaf right there. My little tip of my leaf runs off the page. So if yours runs off the page, that's okay too. So now we've got the leaves on our flower stems. So now let's draw a couple of bumblebees. You can draw as many bumblebees as you want to. I have 2 bumblebees right here in my example, but you can draw as many as you want. So I'm going to show you how to draw a bumblebee right here. So a bumblebee's body is kind of shaped like an oval. Now you need to decide which way is your bumblebee going to fly. I'm going to have my bumblebee flying in this direction right here. So I'm going to draw a little line right here, because this is going to be the face of my bumblebee. So I'm going to have an eye and a mouth. I'm going to have a happy bumblebee, so I'm going to give it a smile. Bumblebees have antennas, so I'm going to put 2 little antennas right there. Then right back here, I'm going to draw, it almost looks like 2 flower petals. So I'm going to draw a circle like this right here, and then I'm going to draw another one right behind it like that. Those are the 2 wings of my bumblebee. Then my bumblebee is going to have some little feet down here like that. Give him 4 little legs. And then stripes. So there's a stripe, and there's a stripe. If you want to give your bumblebee a stinger, you can. You don't have to. It's totally up to you. And then I'm going to draw another bumblebee right here. And I'm going to have this bumblebee looking at this tulip. I think this bumblebee is going to be flying up here to this tulip to go get some nectar. And then some little feet. And then some bumblebee wings. Now, look right here, friends. Yours might not do this, but on mine, my bumblebee is overlapping my flower. So I'm going to have to erase my flower petal that's right here inside my bumblebee wing, because I want to get the overlapping right. My bumblebee is going to be flying in front of my flower petal, so you will not see that part of the petal because it disappears behind the bumblebee. Kind of like this right here. The tip of that flower petal is actually behind that bumblebee wing. That's called overlapping. Now, if your bumblebee doesn't overlap, then you don't have to worry about it, but my bumblebee overlapped. All right, so there's my other bumblebee right there. So you can have as many bumblebees as you want. I only did 2. So now that I have my drawing done, now it's time to color. So I want to go over a couple of coloring things with you. I'm going to do the bumblebee first. Bumblebees are black and yellow, so I'm going to get I have so many crayons to choose from, friends. I'm going to just take this little box right here out. All right, so I need a black and a yellow. So there's my black and my yellow. Here's a little trick. Use black last. If you don't use black last, let me show you what it does. I used black first right here, and then I came in and colored with yellow, and see how the black smeared inside my yellow? That's what happens when you do black. Here's how you keep that from happening. Do your coloring first. We know that our bumblebee has a black and yellow body. So I'm going to color my bumblebee body yellow. I am not coloring the stripes. I'm going to come back and color those stripes later. I'm going to color the face of my bumblebee yellow. Now that I have all the yellow on my bumblebee colored, now I'm going to come back with my black. And I'm going to outline my wings like that. I'm going to color the stripe on my bumblebee black. I'm going to outline the body of my bumblebee. I'm going to color the legs black. If you put a stinger, we'll color that black. I'm going to color the eye black, the mouth black, and the antennas black. Doing it that way keeps the black and the yellow from smearing together. It keeps it neater. So that's a nifty little trick when using black. Save black for the very end and color black last. So I'm going to do, well, you already know how to do a bumblebee. I'm going to do this flower right here purple. So whatever you are coloring, outline your object first and then color inside your color fence. Outlining your object like I just did on this flower does two things. Number one, outlining gives you a nice clean edge. Clean meaning nothing is coming outside the edge. It doesn't look jagged. It looks like a nice, neat edge. Also, outlining gives you a color fence so you know where to color and where to stop. So outline your objects and then color within your color fence. So you're going to choose whatever colors you want to color your flower. Be as colorful as you want to be. Your stems and your leaves are going to be green. Your grass down here is going to be green. Your sky is going to be blue. And of course your bumblebees are going to be black and yellow. And remember that nifty little trick I told you about using black last so it doesn't smear into your yellow. So let's look at the finished one right here that I did that's colored. I used different colors for my flowers to make them super colorful. I used a blue in the background, and because I have such a large box of crayons, I have 96 colors to pick from. I actually used a color that's called cerulean in the background. And if you look at my greens, I use different shades of green. This is called a jungle green, and this is called a rainforest green. It's kind of a blue-green color. Then I used a green and a yellow green for my leaves and my stems. I did a mixture down here in my grass. I colored it green first, then I came back with yellow green and colored in over the green. Because when you look at grass in your yard, it's green, but you've got different shades of green. You've got dark green, light green, even some yellow green, and sometimes green will look a little blue-green. So don't be afraid to mix your colors with your crayons. So there is your lesson on a flower garden with bumblebees. So I hope you have fun doing this. I look forward to seeing your awesome creations. And until next time, friends, peace, love, and sparkles from Miss P.